Hey guys, welcome to my Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2 spoiler review.
No way!
If you haven't seen the movie, turn the fuck away now and run. I'm gonna be going into details about every little fucking scene in this movie. Starting off, the movie opens with a really great dance routine thing by Baby Groot, listening to like some classic rock, and I actually really enjoyed that. In fact, I told myself right now, if the rest of the movie is like this, I'm all on board. I'm probably gonna love this thing. And they really shot around Groot just kind of walking up and down these various obstacles, and you know, while Star-Lord and fucking Batista, everybody are getting thrown around by the big monster that they're trying to protect, and it's really fucking funny, and it's actually really enjoyable too. And it's something I could see if you were born in like 2014 and you're a kid of this decade, you know, this is gonna be the decade that you're super like impressionable on. These are the memories that you're gonna have that last forever. I definitely think this movie is geared towards more of them, and I think that, not to say the movie's juvenile or anything, but they need something to like too. I mean, fuck. We always talk about our childhoods this, our childhoods that, shoving Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Transformers and Jurassic Park and shit, Star Wars down their fucking throats, and give them something new. And I think that this really did that. So if you're a really young guy and you're going, or girl, and you're going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2, I definitely think you'll have a ton of fun. I think you'll have a great time. Now, apart from that, I do want to also talk about the eventual reveal that Rocket has stolen batteries from the fucking gold people that they were actually sent there to protect. And Drax's hilarious laugh, that man, stuff like that just makes this movie so enjoyable. Drax, later on in the movie, everything he does, every line of dialogue that comes out of his mouth is really well written and really hilarious. And as we go forward in the film, eventually, of course, they get stopped by the gold people and attacked, and their little vehicle spaceship things, which end up being drones, and you go back and see that they're actually like arcade cabinets. They're like shooting for points. For Guardians of the Galaxy being something that's very in the late 70s and 80s range of classic rock or whatever, that was pretty funny. I really enjoyed that. The reveal of Kurt Russell being, or as Drax calls him, the One-Inch Man, being Star-Lord's father, and also of him being a Celestial. That's very interesting. And the characters have to stop and be like, "Are you fucking serious? You're a fucking god?" And it worked really well. I was very happy with how that kind of turned out. The character of Nebula actually also got a lot of development later in the film as well. I like it. I said the movie was a bit predictable in my spoiler-free review, and it was. Who didn't see Nebula saving Gamora at the end of the movie? You know, jumping down. Of course. Come on, man. Okay, we're getting into the big spoiler territory. I really didn't want them to kill Yondu. They did, and it worked really well, and it was very perfect for this movie. That line of dialogue that he delivered, he's like, "He may have been your father, boy, but I'm your daddy." Michael Rooker really gave a really good performance as Yondu. I actually really like that. The whole send-off where it's kind of like Spock's death in Star Trek 2. They did a great job. I'm actually very proud of how this movie turned out. And also, delving into spoilers, Sylvester Stallone is in this movie. People may have known that going in. I certainly didn't. Also in this movie is Ving Rhames. That's probably the first time there's ever been a Ving Rhames or Sylvester Stallone like movie, as far as I know. I could be missing one, but nothing comes to my mind, and forgive me, but each time I see Sylvester, the first thing I thought of when I saw Sylvester Stallone was fucking Judge Dredd. I was like, oh boy, this is probably going to be fun and stupid. But Ving Rhames being in there, especially with his face contorted the way it was, I was like, damn, it's been a long time since Pulp Fiction. I know it's special effects, but it was enjoyable, man. I didn't expect them to be in the movie. Kurt Russell killed Star-Lord's mother by putting a tumor in her head, and immediately it's kind of the effect of Robert Downey Jr.'s character of Iron Man in Civil War, where the Winter Soldier killed his mom. Dude, like, he's immediately snapped. I think that the predictability of Kurt Russell being a villain was kind of written on the wall as soon as Mantis said, "I have to tell you something, and I don't know, not being overtly negative, I really enjoyed the movie. I actually think the movie is like a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was excellent. But I will say, it just gets predictable. I've seen things like that before. You know, he's got to use him. He's got to... I can't put my finger on where the fuck I've seen that before, but I know I have multiple times. I don't know, it's just one of those things where you kind of accept and you're like, well, the movie's so good and I'm enjoying so much of it, I can't really complain. I want to talk about my favorite joke in the movie, which is actually the "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all" falling down as he's, you know, as Chris Pratt kind of accepts the fact that Yondu's not such a bad guy and he actually really likes him. That was great. I love that. "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all." That was a great line. Perfect writing. Had a really funny laugh out of the whole audience from that. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 also had a lot of kind of gruesome imagery, especially when there is a mutiny with fucking Taserface, where he just basically kills the whole crew. Man, that was sad. That was kind of depressing to watch them just die. And they definitely sold death in space. And you could kind of see written on Yondu's face that was eventually what was going to happen to him. But when it did happen, it touched the right emotional strings that made you go like, okay, this is well written in the way that they're sending this character off. And I really did enjoy the way that the movie actually played out after that. What do I think will happen in the future with specifically the team of the original Guardians of the Galaxy, Ving Rhames, Sylvester Stallone, yada yada yada? I don't know. Maybe they'll show up in Avengers. It's a possibility, but we'll see what happens. I think they may have just been there for like fan service. I totally don't think we'll get a movie like featuring them completely and no one else. I'll say that. Also, Howard the Duck is in this movie, just like in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Now, the post-credit scenes are pretty good. Oh, probably my favorite fucking reveal whatever of this whole movie is Stan Lee. There is a moment in the movie where Stan Lee is actually just sitting down with what are known as the Watchers, and Rocket and Yondu fucking jump in their hyperspace or whatever you want to call it. They go through something. And Stanley's sitting there and he's like, okay, before I was so rudely interrupted, I was a FedEx Express man or whatever, or FedEx Express man. And okay, if you don't know your fucking comic book stuff, and if you don't understand what that means, especially what they fucking, what they made him out to be in the credits, Watcher Informant, oh my god, that is perfect. The Watchers are a race of aliens that watch over everyone in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Marvel Comic Book Universe, I guess now. Whatever. They watch over everyone in Marvel. They're watching over Spider-Man. They're watching over the X-Men. They're watching over the Avengers. They're watching over fucking everyone, right? They're observing. And the fact that Stan Lee's cameo this time, if you haven't known by now, Stan Lee's in almost every single Marvel movie, even outside of the ones owned by Marvel themselves. He's actually called Watcher Informant. That implies that Stan Lee in The Incredible Hulk, Stan Lee in Avengers, Stan Lee in Captain America movies, Stan Lee in everything is the same character somewhat. You know, you can kind of take this with a grain of salt, but I'm definitely seeing it that way. Even the fucking thing he was talking about, FedEx Express man, the first thing that came in my mind was actually, he may have been a FedEx man in a different movie, but I remember him delivering mail in Fantastic Four. And that's not even connected, so that's even more hilarious, is the fact that they're going through all these movies and actually making him the informant. That was really well done, and I actually really enjoyed that. Probably my favorite spoiler I really wanted to talk about. That I really like that. That was perfect writing right there. And I can't wait to see him in more movies, because now I'm like, oh, there he is. There's fucking alien right there. So I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I definitely think you should check it out. You probably already have. You're watching the spoiler review. But go see it again. Support this movie. I really, really like it. I really think that we should get more movies like this. Maybe we'll actually get up to a 4th movie, which hasn't happened yet in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They usually stop at 3. let's have him keep going. I'd like to see fucking 6 or 7 of these. Anyways, you've been watching me. If you like what you see, you can click a like, you can comment, you can subscribe. That would make my day. I definitely have more of this stuff planned on the way. Take it easy, guys.